Unleash your engine's potential with confidence. Introducing the new exclusive line of oil blends from Moose Off-Road. Moose Off-Road, on the gas since 1986.
Welcome everybody to another motocross action video. Today we have the 2025 and a half Husqvarna FC450 Factory Edition. This thing comes equipped with the white frame, black wheels, FMF slip-on muffler, Rockstar factory team inspired graphics, and a gripper gut seat cover. Today we're going to shred it up here at Glen Helen Raceway and let you know all we know about this 2025. So what's new on this bike for 2025, you ask? Well, they changed the name. Last year, and for the last few years, it's been called the Rockstar Edition 450. Now, they're calling it a Factory Edition 450, but it still comes with the Rockstar Energy graphics. Factory Edition model does mean that it comes with that white frame, like I mentioned. It does come with the Power Parts WP split triple clamps up here with adjustable offset. And the coolest feature about this bike is it comes with the new connectivity unit that allows you to connect your phone to your bike via Wi-Fi, adjust the mapping. You can also track lap times via LitPro leaderboard and get all kinds of cool data thanks to that. So today we're gonna shake this thing down, dive into the data, and let you know all about it. So of course, it's already decked out in Rockstar Energy graphics, but we put our own DecalWorks graphics on here. DecalWorks has been a long-time partner for graphics for motocross action, and we're thankful to have quality graphics to mix in and make our bikes look sick. The 2025 Husqvarna FC450 Factory Edition retails for $12,799, so pretty expensive for the new Factory Edition Husky. I love the white frame though. Being from California, we always love the white frame out here. The only complaints that I've ever heard about white frames come from people that live on the East Coast that ride in a lot of red clay and they do get stained from time to time, so that part is a little bit tough. But for me, I love the white look of the Husqvarna FC450 Factory Edition. Today was the first time in a while that I jumped on this platform. You guys should know that the 2025 Factory Edition is different than the stock model. What's different about it? The suspension. This has KTM suspension on it, while the Husqvarna 2025 regular FC450, the stock model, comes with lowered suspension. 10mm shorter at the forks. Also the shock has a longer seal head to reduce a little bit of travel, and then it has a revised linkage on that bike as well to work with the shock, all to bring the seat 1 inch lower to the ground. So the regular stock FC450 lower. This one though, because it's produced in lower quantities as a Factory Edition model, and because the factory team doesn't run lowered suspension, they run, you know, the same stuff as KTM and gas. That's what this platform comes with. So the suspension settings are identical on the Husky as they are on the KTM and as they are on the gas Factory Edition models. The only structural differences between this bike and a KTM are KTM comes with an Akrapovic slip-on exhaust. This one comes with FMF. This one has the Husqvarna subframe, so it is a little bit closed off right here compared to KTM where it's got the Superman seat grab handles that go all the way through. And other than that, it's just bodywork, fuel tank, seat, and cosmetic differences between a KTM and a Husqvarna Factory Edition. My experience on this bike today, first off, it was a ton of fun. I haven't ridden a KTM in a while. I did ride a two-stroke the other day, but it's been a while since I've jumped on a KTM or Husqvarna or gas 450 four-stroke. So for me, jumping right back on this thing, because there are no changes on it, it's structurally the same bike as last year, I felt right at home on it. I raced this platform last year, the KTM 450 Factory Edition, raced it at Hangtown, Paula, tried to race it at Redbud. I feel right at home on this platform, but it did feel a little bit small to me. I've been spending a lot of time on our 2025 Honda CRF 450, also a lot of time on our Beta 450, and a lot of time on our Yamaha. But jumping back on the Austrian platform, it did feel a little bit smaller. And no, it's not the lowered suspension. So cool time for me riding this FC450. When I rode it this morning, at first the track was beautiful, nice and smooth, but it did get a little bit rougher. And we had Shawn Bushnell ride it. Shawn is the engineer of the crew, vet, pro rider, and he's been testing our FC450, the stock model lately, and I think he's ready to upgrade to the factory edition. So we threw him on this thing. Let's hear what he thought about it now. All right, Shawn here, he's been riding our FC450, the 2025 stock model. Is that bike bone stock still?
It's bone stock.
Bone stock. Yep. So just been replacing tires, oil, and filters. And he's racing pretty much every weekend. 38 hours on that bike currently. And like I mentioned, a little bit softer suspension on that bike. Also, it's got the 1-inch lower seat height.
I'm on the shorter side, so the lowered suspension feels great. It's great for the start. It's great for cornering. It's more comfortable. And riding it, I'm more comfortable. But once I get into a race pace scenario with Josh Fout or the other, the fast local 40 pro guys around here, we have some really fast guys, and if the track gets rough and I get it with those guys, it's too low. I need some hold up, and it blows through and it gets a little buck wild on me.
Gotcha. So honestly, perfect picture. Like, that's exactly how I feel about the FC450. If I'm riding it, if I'm practicing on it, if I'm just testing, I love the lowered platform. It's great for getting traction, but with the newer generation bike, the lowered platform is a little bit soft when you're pushing it 100%. So it's kind of perfect timing for Shawn. He's gotten to this point to where he's pushing the stock FC450 to its limits on race day. When the track gets rougher, you're pushing that extra 10, 15%. And now we got a factory edition. So what would you do to the stock FC450 if you were gonna keep riding that? How does this bike complement where you're at right now?
On the stock OEM bike, I would have to spend some money to get the suspension revalved, probably stiffer. And then I would probably buy a seat cover that had a grip seat cover so I wouldn't have to hang on so tight.
Yeah.
It just so happens that Husqvarna did that for us.
Rockstar Edition, or Factory Edition as it is called now for 2025. I preach about seat covers. I feel like I'm a seat cover preacher. I just love seat covers. They make such a big difference. I was talking to some of the other manufacturers yesterday, and I was like, you guys, if you just invest in a seat cover, people will have a better experience on your bike the first day they ride it, because you're not sliding back and getting arm pumped. So you even mentioned it, as soon as you jumped on this thing, it's like, it almost feels like you can hold on to it so much easier. It doesn't even feel as fast because you're just stuck on the bike. You're not sliding off the back and gripping too tight.
It's almost misleading that you could say the base model almost feels faster because you're sliding off the back of it, but it's just a seat cover.
It's just a seat cover. Yeah. So that's the big difference there. And then of course the suspension, more hold up on this compared to the FC450. FC450, we like to say vet bike, lower suspension, a little bit softer than the KTM platform. Because this is factory edition, KTM platform, more hold up. And the other cool things that this thing has is the connectivity unit. So you can connect your smartphone to the bike, Android or Apple iPhone. Today I connected my phone to it, and lots of cool features that we appreciated last year, but I wanted to run Shawn through the full gamut of smooth map, standard map, aggressive map. Those are preset maps that come within the app. You just click one button and you're in that map. And then there also has further customization to lower the engine braking or raise the engine braking, lower throttle response or raise throttle response.
It's really neat, and it's really powerful. It's effective. You can change them and feel them.
Yeah,
you can feel them, and you can change them individually or consecutively, and you have a nice slider bar, so you can really fine tune it to exactly how you like it.
Yeah, and some of the other manufacturers make different maps, and it's hard to tell between 1 and 2 and 3, and so I was pleased that you could feel a big difference. How cool is it to adjust engine braking?
It's very cool, especially if you grew up in an era where we rode 2-strokes.
Yeah,
it's super nice to take a 4-stroke, turn the engine braking off. For me anyways, it's nice.
Yeah,
and it's just another tool, that you can fine tune your bike. When you spend a lot of money on the motorcycle, it's neat that it comes with that.
Awesome feature there. Also, the Lit Pro leaderboard is connected to this bike, and thanks to Lit Pro being connected to the brain, the ECU of this Husqvarna FC450, you can see your lap times going around the track. You can also see your segment times, and because it's connected to the ECU, you can also see what gear you're in, what RPM you're riding at, what your throttle position is. So it's like really the most analytical bike available. I mean, we could really dial it in. We could say to hit the finish line here at Glen Helen, on is third gear, 9,000 RPM at 2.5 quarters of the throttle, you know.
Yep.
We could really dial it in and make it almost a mathematical equation. Of course, motocross is anything but mathematical. It's all about your feeling, it's all about traction, it's all about momentum. So you're not able to dial it in and let AI ride the bike for you, but it's just cool that there's so much that comes with this platform.
Yeah, it's really good for, you know, bench racing in the evening after the race, sitting around the campfire or something, or at the dinner table.
And you don't have to buy a Lit Pro and mount it to your helmet or anywhere else on the bike. It's already mounted into the bike. So pretty cool stuff that come with the Husqvarna FC450 Factory Edition. Of course, we love FMF, more power, better looking, and it's just a slip-on muffler that works right there with the bike. It does have a Recluse clutch cover on here. Clutch is stock internally, so that's just basically for looks, but KTM, Husqvarna Gas, best clutches in the industry. So ODI lock-on grips, Pro Taper Husqvarna bend handlebars. These are some of my favorite bends, and the air forks, WP Exact air forks. You've been living with it for 38 hours on the FC450. For me, riding a lot of spring forks lately, jumping on it, I appreciate how light and nimble this bike feels. And as long as you spend time to bleed the air screws and check the air pressure every day and sometimes throughout the day, you'll learn how to love these forks. But if you're too lazy to check the air pressure every day, you're gonna want a spring conversion kit. That's all for the FC450. Thank you, Shawn, for taking care of us, for keeping us going, and for keeping us going strong. Thank you guys for watching these videos. Let us know in the comments what you want to know about this bike and what other bikes you want to see us test. Subscribe to Motocross Action's YouTube channel to stay up to date with our latest videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.